Welcome everyone to a new game discovery. You take Factorio or Captain of Industry, any of those factory building games, and you mix that with some Minecraft. And maybe you have Satisfactory Successor. You are in charge of building a giant factory in a quite alien world, as you can see with the vegetation. And it has quite a few very innovative ideas, so it could definitely be major competition. If you like city buildings, factory buildings or Minecraft, you will probably like this. This game will soon be in early access, but before that you can play for free the demo as part of the October festival between October 3rd and October 10th. You can download for free this demo and play it yourself. And you actually don't have to play alone, you can play with your friends. This is a game that you can play alone like I did over here, or you can play with as many friends as you want, because apparently there's no limit to the number of players that you can have in one map. Let's go into my elevator over here to go up and then maybe also down, because this is one of the amazing thing in this game is you can build elevators to go up, to go down. You can completely terraform the map. And here it is, we are quite high, we are at a height of 200 meters or 200 blocks if you wish. And you can see part of my city on that side, part of my city on this side. And I think you can also definitely see the Minecraft inspiration. And before we review a bit my city and also go down into the mine, let's go back to the beginning. Let's start a new save. You have hundreds of thousands of completely randomized map. And I want to make it clear that as always, this is not a sponsored video, but I did get the key for free from the developer. So big thanks from the developer for sharing this, so I can show it to you all on the channel. And to thank them, let's watch this 2-minute trailer that really shows a bit the game. Of course, if you want to skip that, don't hesitate to use the chapter functionality of YouTube. And as you can see, this is a completely different map, and we have different vegetation. We have this alien vegetation over here, this more sort of normal vegetation over there. If we press M, we can see the map. We can also see some resources. This is technum, this is xenoferrite. Think about this like your iron and your coal, sort of typical resources. And you have a bit more technum over here. We have some olumite over there, a lot of forest. This is rock, this may be sand. So quite a few different types of vegetation, and later on we'll also find new resources both on the map and also underground. An amazing thing is that, like Captain of Industry, this has been developed only by 2 people. 2 people made this game, similar to Captain of Industry. If you don't know Captain of Industry, don't hesitate to check in the video description below, because this is another really amazing game currently on early access. So get in early before the game is finished. And as you saw before, really our goal is to build a giant factory, to mine resources, first manually and then to automate it as much as possible. And really, as I said, you can completely terraform the map. For now we can destroy anything that we want. As I'm sure you've seen, this is also a first-person game. And because all of this is based on this cube, this voxel, like Minecraft, this is actually very easy, everything fits together. There's never you're trying to fit something and it doesn't fit, because everything is based on those cubes. And remember, the game is coming to Steam very soon, so don't hesitate to check it out there. You can find the link directly in the video description below. You can also wishlist this if you really like it, because that does really help, especially small developer teams like this. A cool thing is that on the map you can create waypoints, and in particular, we can create waypoints on our resources. This one was the tech, or we can call it the core if you want. This one is the Xeno. You can choose a color for it. And, you know, if we're now on the map, we can see them. This is this way 38 meters, this way 62. And in the top right corner, you can see some tasks. This is basically a tutorial, and we can press F2 or F1 to get into the manual. For now, there's not a lot, but as soon as we unlock new things, you'll get new pages, which is also very cool because this way, you know, as soon as there's something new, you can get to that new page instead of trying to read everything at once. So it is, we are in one of the first mines. You can see some of those things at the top that we can break. And there's also, I mean, this is the mine too, that goes quite underground. In the first few minutes like this, we need to do a couple of things manually, right? I'm manually mining, but very soon we'll automate this. We'll first have some drones that can mine above ground, and then we'll even have some big drilling trucks and trains to mine underground. So again, there's definitely a lot more in this game than you may expect. Okay, so 1 minute later, I finished clearing this mine. So now let's move to the other one. And again, with the map, we know where it is. It's easy. We can run, we can jump. Later, we'll have a few other things. Okay, and this one is red. Mind it, and remember, you don't have to play this alone. You can play with your friends. Obviously, if you're playing with friends, you know, one can mine one mine while the other is doing the other mine, or you can do, you know, together and be quicker. Now, there's also another mission that or another task that we completed right away, which was to get a bit of biomass. You get biomass by firstly, you know, clearing some of the trees. As you can see, we're getting 10 biomass for each of those trees. And then with the mining resources and those biomass, we can start crafting. We can start burning. And with that, we're gonna press C, and we see, you know, this is your crafting menu. This is all of the recipes that I have for now. And later you will start unlocking many more. This has, you know, conveyors, for example. This is a biomass generator to create electricity. Here we have our smelters to burn, as I said, sort of this ore that we have in our inventory. There's also components and a few other things, and later on we'll start unlocking buildings like a research lab. So right now the only thing we can basically do is this primitive furnace, and this is the mission. So let's do it. Let's actually create 2 or 3, you know, like most games. The more you develop, or the quicker you develop, the better. And this is now in my inventory, as you can see, right? I have some dirt, some biomass, some of this ore that we mine, and also those primitive furnace. I can right click to start building it, or I can also put it in my tab over here, quick tab. We have 3 of them, and this enables you to build obviously quite quickly. And then we can place it wherever we want, rotate, and do many other things, right? But for now, let's just put them quickly over here, next to each other. And what's really cool is you don't have to start getting into menus and things like this. You can do most of the things directly over here. If I click over here, I can choose what to do. And then here, you know, I can just directly deliver the resources. If I click here, I can manage, you know, the inventory. So I put some of the mining resources we need, but we need to put also a bit of fuel. Let's do that. And now it's starting to produce. As I said, just clicking over here, I'll put more mining equipment. Putting over here, I'll just take the output directly into my inventory. So now in my inventory, I have 4 of those plates. And again, of course, this is the beginning of the game. We're doing some of those things manually. And then after this, we'll be able to automate a lot of things, right? Let's get a bit more resources, and in particular fuel. In just a few minutes, as you can see, we've produced a lot more over here, 49. So let's take them in. Over here, perfect, 20. So we finished this task. Now we need to start crafting building blocks. Building blocks are super important. This is the one over here. And why are they super important is because they transfer electricity. If you have electricity on one block, all of the blocks that are connected to that one will also get electricity. So we're gonna need to build most of the buildings on those building blocks. And again, the whole map is terraformable, and I can go as deep as I want. You can see it in the top left corner, right? We are at height 130. So I could, you know, dig if I wanted 130 level before getting to the end. So now you may be wondering why I want to dig just a bit like this, is to put those building blocks very close to the mine. And this is not just about destroying. When I say fully terraformable, you can also rebuild. For example, if I take some of the dirt, right, I can put it back, Or I can, if I want, you know, build a new tower or whatever I fancy. Yeah. But the goal here is to put some of those building blocks. So let's start with that. Taking the building blocks, putting it all the way over here. Perfect. Now we need to build a drone miner. So let's build this drone miner over here. We can actually build 2. We have some resources. Now I came back and gave some more. Took what was produced. Like this, 2 clicks. And similarly, we can take our drone miner and we're gonna put it as close as possible to the mine. Because if I put it too far, no mineable ore in range. Here there's only 12. If I go all the way over here, you know, this is 53. So it's definitely a lot better. Okay, we're putting 2 and now it says no power. So we need to craft, as suggested, a biomass generator. Build it. Put it just next to it. It doesn't matter, as I said, it doesn't have to be next to it because as long as it's on connected building blocks, it will be all good. And it is, you know, 8:45, so the night is going to be there. The sun is going down soon, going down at 9 p.m. Sky is so pretty, but we're going to use L to make a bit of light. And later on, of course, we'll also have many other ways to build, you know, actual light in our city. Some biomass and it's burning and it's giving some electricity. We can see our grid status for now, super easy. Just a low voltage grid with just 1 biomass generator and nothing consuming it for now. Okay, here it is. The drones have gone. As you can see, we have 4 drones for this level 1. They're charging, then they're going to the ore over here and mining it and then bringing it back. And now this is in the storage. And again, I don't have to go into special menus or anything like that. I can just click here and take it. Click here and take it. And then for now, again, I have to deliver it myself, but soon we can start creating, of course, some conveyors. And as you can see, this is the next mission. We want to build a smelter, some loaders, and some conveyor belts. So let's do this. And it needs to, of course, to be on the foundation. So we're gonna need a bit more building blocks because we only have 5 left. And that's why it becomes red when I try to put 6. 3 is fine, more is not fine. In this current state, this game is actually pretty chill because there's no maintenance, there's no, you know, enemies. So you can take your time. If you're too stressed, for example, by Factorio, you don't like to be attacked or those type of things, this game may be for you. You can really take your time over here. Then we need 2 loaders. Why 2? We need 1 from the mine. And we can put it over here, for example. And then we need 1 connected to the smelter. And what's really cool is you can see we can actually connect it all the way, everywhere. And then of course we should probably put a bit of conveyor belts so we don't have to do anything ourselves. Again, very easy because everything is based on blocks, right? So 1, 2, we can also drag it, of course, rotate it and drag it. Perfect. And you can make T-junctions and many other elements. The reason it's not working is because I haven't told him what to do. Because he could be doing a lot of different things. So I need to explain to him what to do. And in this case, we want to do some plates. And for this one, we don't even need to put fuel, right? There's no fuel, it's just input, output, because it's using the electricity from the ground. Something really cool in this game is, for the research lab, right, recipe level 1, we need 40 xenoferrite plates. This is green. We can see green is because I have this in my inventory right now, so all good. And then 20 machinery parts. This is yellow. Yellow means I don't have it in my inventory, but we can actually build it. And as you saw, we built the lab. I didn't have to build any of those machinery parts. As long as I have the base material, it will build it itself. It will take some time, but it will. And we can see over here, those machinery parts, they actually take plates. And I do have that in stock. So I could also build some if I wanted myself, and then I would have some stocks, but I don't have to. And again, all of this for now we're doing manually. Later, we'll be able to automate all of this. And with this lab, we can start making research, unlocking a lot of new mechanics. And this was really the early game. Now let's jump a couple of hours into the future and let me show you my base. Here we are in the base. We still have those 2 mines, but now they're connected, right? I have created a small factory in the middle with a couple of interesting things. First of all, my electricity doesn't come from rudimentary burning trees, also because then I wouldn't have any trees left on Earth, but it comes now from those solar panels. These are solar panels, they're connected, via those poles, right? Then these are batteries. So during the day, those batteries, can get full, and then during the night, I can still have electricity. All of my machines are still working right now, and that's why this is going down. This is consuming some electricity. Also, instead of just a few drones, we can have a lot more of those drones. And you may have realized also that this is not exactly the same belt. The previous belts were red. Now these belts are yellow because they're faster. You can see it over here. These are belts that are 100 items per minute. These ones are 320. And of course, this is only level 2. We can get to even higher level. These belts are going here, and instead of just one of those furnaces, I have multiple of those furnaces. And so on the other side, we have the output that's coming. The output are those plates, right? They're going over there. Then they're also going into the storage. So now instead of building plates myself, I can just go into the storage, take them, put them in my inventory. And then also, even after the storage, this goes over here. This is my bus, right? We have all of the resources that we need. This is the machinery parts. This is the wires, right? We have the roads over here. So all of this is being created. And then when some of those resources are needed, we're using over here those splitters to go down to the ground. And then it's being used into those assemblers. For example, over here, we're taking some machinery parts and some rods. We can always see the ratio too, like 20 per minute for 16 to make. This one is a science pack. This is how we're creating science, level 1. The science pack, if we follow them, they're going to the research lab level 1. We have a lot of reserve right now, all grade. And this one is actually the research lab level 2. If we press G now, we can see this research tree I told you earlier. It was quite a big one, and I'm sure they'll continue expanding it later on. There's quite a few things. We've done a couple already, but there's many more to be done. I mean, these ones are the available ones. For example, if we click here, right, we have done the elevator level 1. We have done the freight elevator level 1. We can do the freight elevator level 2, and then even level 3. And many others, right? There's a jetpack over here. There's different resources. For example, over here, now we can start doing cement and concrete. I can also improve my character, right? For example, I have improved my inventory size. I've increased it. So there's a lot of things inside, this tech tree. This is my bus, making all of the resources that side and then bring them back into the bus. Right now it stops over here. Then we need to continue, destroying trees, creating more building blocks to expand. But this is not all. We have on this side the other smelters for the other mine. Right, this is my Technum mine. I went into a bit underground, right? This is not the same level. And you can see something cool right here. We're going up. Can go up, all of the resources going up. You can also build things like this, or we can build stairs. There's many ways to also build the terrain. If you look over here, there's light poles, doors, railings, stairs, many things that you can do. But the key thing I wanted to show you is with that, I've automated the creation of all those things. I don't need to build them myself. For example, if I need some building blocks, I just go over here and I have a lot of reserve. I can just put them in my inventory and start using them. Or if I need a lot of conveyors, I go there. And then the really cool thing is this elevator. You build this elevator and then you can decide what to do. I decided to create a ground level at 135. I decided to create a viewpoint at 200, and it's not just a viewpoint. I can actually build things there. I also decided to go underground, right? I told him to dig to level 95. And why 95 is because I built one of those geological scanners that tells me, underground resources, where they are, what type of resources. And so I found some of those ignite, which is not a resource we can find on top of the ground at this level. Let's go over there and I'll show you really how cool it is. While we're going down, another thing I want to show you is at the beginning we are mainly using a mining drill to change the terrain. Now we've also unlocked the explosive charge. And with that, let me show you an example actually over there. I throw a bit of these explosives and whoop. And now, we've digged quite a bit more. So with that, it's also easier to dig the terrain. So anyway, we went down and, we connected a pole here. So now we also have electricity. If I click on this transformer, you can see over here, this is my power source. I have 30 solar panel. They can, create 7.5 megawatts. Then it's charging the batteries because the day has started. And with that, I've created two different space that is actually where we are today on the ground, and there's also space above ground with all of my assemblers and inducer smelter and all of this, and I can create many more if I want to. So anyway, as I said, we brought some electricity, and then look at this is very cool. And then you may wonder what this is. Well, this is a mining rail. So I built this, then I gave it a rail miner. I also gave it some tracks, and now it's starting to put some tracks and to dig. When it started, it was actually at this level, and now as you can see, it is actually over there. So we can't really see it. Here it is. I recalled it by clicking on this button here. Now it's coming back. So you can see this is the drill, and it created some space. So later on, in a couple of years, it will be even further. Now let's send it again. Going back into it. Go for it. And the resources like our drones, is coming into the inventory. I can take it myself, or I can also have over here a loader. I have a loader, then it goes over here, and then it goes into the resources are going in, and then they're going up and up, to the ground. So now let's go back to the ground to see what happened to those resources. Here is the top of the elevator. So we have again, a loader. We don't need that one actually. And this resource, goes into here. Then it goes into this crusher. It's transformed into resources. Then it goes into this one over here to be transformed, right? Then it comes out on this one, goes into this one to be transformed into those steel beams. And then those steel beams are going on the bus. And later we can do things with them, of course. So I think I'm really just scratching the surface, both literally and metaphorically, of this game, but I think there's really a lot of potential. Obviously, it's not finished. I think there's things they can improve, but definitely a game to keep your eyes on if you like this type of game. If you're a fan of Satisfactory, if you're a fan of Factorio, you probably will like this one. And once again, a free demo is coming to Steam, so don't hesitate to check in the video description below to go check it out. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you like this? Do you want to see more on the channel, or want to try it yourself? I'm really keen to hear your thoughts. And of course, if you could smash the like button, it really does help a lot. I hope to see you next time.